The best chats are always the unscripted ones. There are interesting stories all around us, and here's one of them.
Open your eyes, spectacular's right in front of you.
Oh yeah, this is totally unscripted, so we never know where this is going to go.
Dangerous.
This is the unscripted perspective.
Turn the volume
And
up.
here's your host, Phil Parker. Phil Parker. Phil Parker. Phil Parker.
Well, hello. It is another unscripted perspective with me, your host, Phil Parker. And today it is an international version of the unscripted perspective. I have Sam King all the way from Mansfield in England. It is 11 p.m. where I am and 7 a.m. where he is. And it is like all the wrong times to be doing a live. But hey, I don't care. We're doing this. It's fun. And welcome to the show, sir. How are you?
Yeah, cheers, Phil. Thanks for having me on.
Are you still with me, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I'm still hardwired in.
All right. Okay.
Am I in?
All right. We have a little bit of a delay, satellite delay, with all that. But so Sam, tell me a little bit about you for the listeners and watchers of the show. Just a little bit of a bio, kind of your background, where you're coming from, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah, nice. So I'm a ex-salesperson. I started in retail sales when I was about 11 or 12 years old, selling carpets. And it just kind of grew from there, really, selling mid-end up to high-end sofas, carpets, beds, furniture, and just thrived under serving people and helping people and did really well at it. I love being around people and being a problem solver and earning some good money while I'm doing it as well. And really enjoyed it. And that transitioned into helping other salespeople and retail store owners increase their sales through strengthening relationships.
Yeah. And it's funny because I literally did a live last night with someone who has a similar background helping business, not so much retail, but and it was a pretty in-depth discussion. I'm sure where this is going to go,
Right.
but your background and everything. How is it that you're helping these individuals or businesses like grow and learn from, I suppose, some of the mistakes they might be making and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it all started about a year ago. So I just had an idea. I knew I always wanted my own business, but I thought I'd be running my own shop. So carpets, sofas. And I was just in my bed one night and I just had this moment and I was like, I'm going to teach people how to sell like the right way,
Right.
like a consultative selling. And it just started from there. Just kind of rocked with it and rolled with it. It was hard at first. Obviously a new business. I'd never really set up a business before, but I found a mentor who coached me and helped me and put me on the right track. And I listened to him. And now we're implementing referral strategies, sales strategies, and just strengthening relationships with clients and making them grow exponentially.
Great. What are you seeing the most of when you're walking into these clients? It seems like there are like going into any environment or any, I suppose, situation when you're trying to find solutions for issues that might be happening. What is it that the first thing that you do when you walk into a business? Are you kind of given a SWOT analysis or what kind of work do you do when you walk in there at first?
Yeah, well, we'll see and put and create a roadmap of where they want to be and where they want to go, and then we implement and put in the structures in place that can help them do that. But the first thing primarily is to help the staff and the advisors kind of get over that fear of being themselves on the shop floor. and just being able to express themselves freely and be their genuine self. Because when you are yourself, you can connect better with people, and it just flows.
Right, right. Because it's something we were chatting about last night, actually. You know, being genuine and connecting with your customer seems to be the differentiator right now when it comes to sales, because 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago, it was just sell. Like there was no directive, there was no connect with the customer. It was just shove that product into their face, get them to buy it, and there was less care involved in the sales process. And I think because of COVID and the adaptive nature to online selling and everything, those brick and mortar stores now have to give an experience more than just a selling motive to their people and to their customers.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I never sold like that, pushy, but that was just because I knew that wasn't the way to sell. But I have worked with people who have been like that. But in fairness to them, that's not their fault either. You know, there's a lot of pressure in sales, and sometimes the natural reaction is to just get that sale at any cost. But it just takes that little bit of emotional intelligence just to step back and think, well, there's a bigger picture here. Let's just calm it down a bit, slow it down a little bit, and see what unfolds naturally instead of trying to force the sale or force anything that happens.
Mm. Do you think that the retailers or the business owners kind of put themselves in this position just by how they do their compensation packages, maybe?
Potentially, yeah, potentially.
Because I see that a lot, and one of the things that really kind of irks me about how we have really changed. I mean, even me going in as a customer, I'm not just looking to buy anymore. I mean, let's face it, you can walk into any store now, take a picture, go on your phone and find it online on Amazon or something like that for cheaper. And so you have this big monster of a business that you can literally buy anything online. So when you walk into a store, you're looking for that friendly attitude, you're looking for that help, you're looking for that knowledge, because otherwise, without that relationship, there's no point in being in the store.
Yeah, you might as well buy it online. Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. The salespeople now, sales consultants or advisors, I shouldn't call them salespeople. We're not salespeople. They are the differentiator that can make the difference. I mean, if you've got a nice person in front of you, willing to take all that pressure off of you, and they're pleasant, why wouldn't you let them take the business?
Exactly. And it's about the care as well. I mean, even for me, when I'm walking into a store, just knowing that I can go back to that same person, or knowing that if I have an issue, I can go back and deal with them specifically and they'll take care of me.
Yeah.
While the bigger monsters of the world, as far as corporations now adopt this, blasé kind of, don't worry about it, you don't have to send it back kind of attitude. Amazon, I don't know how they managed to do it. I was literally having that conversation last night as well, where, you have products that don't fit your need and they don't want them back. They just give you a refund and it's all good. So it's like, what is going on? Like, how does that even make money for you guys? But, like the connection side of it, and the reason why I brought up the compensation packages is, when you're aggressively adding commission to someone's payment structure, you're forcing them to need that sale, to where they're losing that connection. I suppose that the ability to connect, because while, they have that killer instinct and they want to get that sale, every sale they don't get then adds to that stress, and they're no longer that personable person. They're not friendly. They're not relaxed. For me, as a salesperson, when I don't have any commission structure, now, if I'm bonus based off of the store performance, that's a little bit different than my performance. But like, I think creatively, as a as I've written compensation packages in the past, it's really changed over the last 5 years and how people do that, because we now have to give them the opportunity to give the experience as well as get that sale.
Yeah.
So maybe not have so much weighing on the commission side of it, you know?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't enjoy working in a store bonus scheme. You know what? I like to work when I was on the shop floor. I like to earn my money and look
Right.
after my clients and like kind of my funnel. But I think the big part of it is not succumbing to that pressure and being aware of it. It's got to be in the back of your mind, because you've got to be aware of it and know what you've got to do. But it's not letting it eat away and control you. It's just
Right,
being
right.
mindful.
Because
And
let's
being
face it,
able to
sales
take
isn't
that
for
pressure.
everybody. Sales isn't for everybody. I mean, being in the sales consultancy game or any of that, sales advisor, whatever you want to put the title as, it's not for everybody, because it can have an element of stress attached to it when you're maybe not getting those sales or whatever. But one of the things that really works well over here is you have to buy into the product. Like there has to be some ownership. Do you like one thing that we did at a store at a corporation that I worked at a few years ago was so it was an auto parts store. So you have people coming in off the street that don't like that. Car knowledge is not like something that you just have. It's just not, you know what I mean? So we ended up saying, okay, every month, whoever is like really, interested in it, we would give a brake package to some of our top employees. By doing that, those brake pads, those rotors, everything involved in that package then becomes something that they owned. They knew about it. So it's like whether it was specific details about the package or not, they're now saying it's what I have on my car. They're great. They work. I have them. I wouldn't use anything else now that I have them on my car. Once you make it personal, as you well know, customers are like, well, if you have it on your car, then surely they're good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree. You've got to believe in the product that you're selling and get 100% behind it. I was reading something the other night that people who are on 100% commission, if they aren't willing to be on that, it's either they don't believe in themselves or they don't believe in the product or the company that you're working for. So if you've got all those three and you are willing to take that pressure, you'll do it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when you need to eat, you need to eat. Isn't that kind of how it works?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but while still strengthening that relationship, we're not
Right,
we're not
100%, 100%. And there's a lot to be said. I mean, in the US, 100% commission is something that kind of hasn't been very strong of late because of the lack of willingness in the workforce to go to work. I mean, in the UK, it's a little bit different right now, but here, gig work is huge. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. Today, I went out for 4 hours. I made $100 and I was delivering Amazon packages, and it's easy
Cool.
peasy.
Nice.
You go in, you have an app, you do whatever. It's $100. It's simple money. You write it off your own business essentially because they call you a contractor. So your tax write-offs and all that kind of stuff come into play. So to get an employee to come in and work a regular schedule and do all that kind of stuff, it adds a lot of pressure and unnecessary pressure to some people. Because why would you do that if you're making $25 an hour doing stuff on your own time and being able to write off that kind of? So now you have to give value to your employees. You have to allow them to kind of choose your business over anyone else's because of what you can offer them, not necessarily what they offer you. now it's the interview process is now a two-way street when used to be a one-way street.
Yeah.
So it's like now they want to work. They either want to work for you or they don't. Like I've literally accepted an offer myself with a company and had 3 or 4 offers tabled, and it was a case of I've never been in this situation before where it's like, okay, we all want you. And I'm like, well, now I want to kind of sit down and think about what you guys have to offer. So it's like, we're in the same boat now with people coming in at maybe $15-20 an hour, where you have to allow them to, see the value that your company has to offer them.
Yeah, definitely. But if your company wants to go in the right direction, you need the best people on board, and the best people are going to want the best packages. So, no, I think that's good. I think it's healthy.
Yeah, 100%. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing right now as far as work and dealing with, you said briefly before we went on air that a lot of your clients now are in the US. How is that? Tell me a little bit about that process and how you deal with clients on a day-to-day basis now.
Yeah, so it's we have meetings like this over Zoom, sales training on sales platforms, and we go through scripts, etc. We have weekly calls, so if there's any issues that comes up in the training, we can address it there and then. We have done for you referral strategies where me and my team will put in referral strategies where other salespeople and businesses are actively promoting you. So when I was a salesperson, and what a lot of salespeople are fed up of is just waiting for the up, ringing leads or waiting for people to walk through the door. But with us, we create your own sales funnel, so people come to you and ask for you by name. So it just grows exponentially.
Yeah. So how does that go about? I mean, are you? You're in London, so how is that?
Yeah.
How are you creating a sales funnel for, let's say, a business in Vancouver, Washington, or something like that?
Yeah, cool. So we would find 10 local businesses that have got some alignment to you, and then we would we'd ring them up, or we'd email, LinkedIn, social media, and just say, would you like to act as an affiliate for our client? They're doing such and such work. You'll get paid a percentage. We just ask them to give them a rack card holder. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So we'll create leaflets with your information on, a bit of a bio and a headshot, and just ask them to hand them to their clients that come through the door and buy from them. So that's creating a funnel. Your authority is increased because somebody else has said how good you are. And it works. And then we do more referral strategies and incentives to get the clients to keep coming back to them, like paying for lunches if they refer people, and all kinds. Just because you're 100,000 miles away doesn't mean we can't have an impact.
Right. And honestly, a lot of these things that you're saying, sometimes it's the simplest ideas that have the most impact, because, aligning yourself with local businesses, essentially making a community of businesses that want to do right by each other. I mean, there's no reason why you can't work together as a team, so to speak, by referring each other to different, because honestly, without even doing any affiliation of any kind, we would do that in business anyway. Like if someone comes in and asks for something that we don't sell, but we know where you can buy it, you turn around and you say, oh, well, we don't have it, but if you really need this, I know this place up the road has it for sure. Go in and ask for this person. He's the manager there. If he's not there, then one of the guys will help you. They're great people to work with. Yeah. So that kind of camaraderie and relationship building within your community, not necessarily for customers, because, customers are going to go wherever they want to go at the end of the day, but if you build a rapport with your, I suppose, your community of businesses around you, it's something that, in auto parts is something that we've done for a long time. Trying to build business with garages and stuff. You go down to a local pizza shop and you say, all right, we're gonna spiff them every time they spend $500 with us. So what can you do on pizza deals? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
We get our Coke rep and say, all right, if they're spending a lot of money with us, what can you offer us as a spiff? We're a national account. We're buying stuff from you all the time. So you can leverage existing relationships as well to really benefit you when it comes to, like, I suppose not so much spiffing, but, because spiff is such an old kind of word or term, but, it's like incentivizing these people to buy from you. I mean, let's face facts. In automotive, garages, techs drink Monster and Red Bull like it's water. So when you turn around and you say, hey, if you're spending $500 with us, which they need to buy these parts anyway as a business, we're going to give you a can of Monster each time you hit that, or 2 cans of, or whatever it is, right? They're going, well, I was going to buy one of those Monsters anyway, and I was also going to buy that $500 worth of parts anyway. Now I'm, it benefits me to go to them because they're going to spiff me or give me something for allowing them to service me. So in a way, you kind of get your leg in the door, and then you just build a relationship from there. I mean, relationships are where it is right now. As you said, the experience and remembering someone's name and knowing you can go there and all that stuff. It's very, it's an experience driven world right now, unfortunately. So it's not price driven anymore because people don't care. Because you're literally, you have a handheld device that'll literally get you anything you want for the price you want it delivered to your house. Yeah. So now when a customer walks into your business, you have to give them that experience that's unforgettable for the right reasons, or it's first impressions last and you've lost that customer.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Relationships. It's not just relationships with your client that's walking through the door. It is for relationships with the whole community. And if everyone does work together and everyone's got their own niche swimming in the same direction, it works. Everyone earns money. Everyone's happier. You've got an 80% chance of closing a referred customer just for them walking through the door. You haven't got that battle. And it's great.
What are the quick wins for you when you walk into when you're dealing with a client, for example?
Yeah.
Because like IT or anything, do you have your modem plugged in and all this kind of stuff? Like there's questions that you ask straight out of the gate. What are those questions that you're asking your clients when you meet them for the first time? Because obviously everybody's going to want to build, more sales. It's a given. I mean, everyone's going to have that. But in almost every workforce now, there seems to be a different type of challenge or something they're trying to overcome. What are the questions that you're asking? Let's call it like, let's say I'm calling you for the first time. What are the questions you're asking me if I'm looking for your help?
Well, the first question I'd ask you is, are you a right fit for the program? Because I wouldn't want to work with everybody. But assuming that you are, how many referral strategies have you got in and you're implementing consistently in the business? And more often than not, the answer is 1 or even 0. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you can get 3 or 4 or 5 implemented consistently, that is where you grow. And that's one of the first things that we do. We'll put in 3 and then we'll work on the sales training. Because once you've got more customers coming in, it's easier and you've got more chance of selling. But probably most important thing, you're saving on your advertising costs and your marketing costs. The price of getting a cold lead in from advertising is sky high. So if you can get other people to advertise for you and pay them a percentage, but it wouldn't be as much as advertising. You creating that valued community, and you've got more people coming in your store. Then we can look at the sales training and looking how to serve them correctly.
Right. Not to give away the house or anything, but as far as the sales training goes, what kind of topics, and maybe give me a taster of what that kind of sales training deals with, just for anyone that might be interested in calling you or whatnot.
Yeah, so we would literally take it from the moment a client walks through the door. Many people, salespeople, jump on customers. Hi, how are you? Can I help you? Straight away, you've got that customer's backup. Sales resistance is high. They don't want that. They don't want that pressure. So use words like, hi guys, are you just looking, or are you looking for something in particular? It opens the conversation up. Now, they might still turn around and say, no, we are just looking and we'll shout if you need anything. And that's fair enough. Let them look. But you slowly diffusing and lowering that sales resistance. So you are coming across as an advisor rather than a sales consultant. I'm not going to name names, but I've visited other sales trainers that say you need to get 3 no's before you get a yes. That's rubbish. That's absolute rubbish. If you know that the customer is going to say no, don't close. You shouldn't be closing. If they aren't ready to be asked if they want to place the order, don't ask. The right sales consultant should know emotionally, being aware whether that client's ready or not to be asked. And if they're not, be forward thinking enough to overcome the next objections. What else can you show them? What other products have you got? What else is their needs? Salespeople should instinctively know what they need to get the ball rolling and to help them make a decision.
Yeah. One of the things that we were chatting about last night as well is that the talent pool right now is not, the talent pool doesn't exist right now. For a lot of businesses over here, they're finding that experience is very hard to find because they've decided, let's face it, people who've worked in retail up to COVID kind of decided that maybe it wasn't for them afterwards. So the difficulty of hiring over here is so great that you're not finding those people who might have the skill set that you would have had pre-COVID. And so, unfortunately, we're still talking about COVID because it has affected, it just decimated workforces, I think, globally, to where now you're not hiring necessarily for experience, you're hiring for potential because you're training these people to be what you need them to be. And having to really invest in the employees that are coming in the door. Before it was, hey, you've got sales experience, you've got this and that. And for me, I hate that because it's like, generally those people are the ones that know everything and don't want to hear whatever you have to say. So it's like, well, I've been selling blah, blah, blah for 10 years. I don't need your help. Hiring green employees, let's call it, you're bringing in people that are more open to hearing what you have to say and giving people like you the opportunity to actually train them. Because let's face it, when new salespeople come on the floor, there's nerves, there's what do I say? How do I deal with the situation? All that kind of stuff. One of the things that I've noticed even more so is They focus on the person they think is buying. So instead of, there might be a kid that's just racing around the room and they're with this parent, and that parent is not listening to a word you are saying. If you don't deal with this entire situation, you're talking at a wall. You might as well give up. So
Literally, if they haven't got your undivided attention, don't say anything.
legitimately, when it comes to the experience, you have to go for the whole pie. You can't just say, I'm talking to Sam, whoever he's with doesn't matter, because Sam's the one with the money. But if you've got somebody distracting you, then you have to address everyone in the room. So it's important to, like for salespeople now, it's very important to make sure that the experience and everybody with them is brought into that experience. So it's not so much a sales pitch to Sam, it's a sales pitch to everyone there, because if you're addressing Annie, let's say, who's 5 and running around the room, and you're going, hey, Annie, come over here. I got something to show you, blah, blah, blah. And you're bringing them in to the sales pitch that's yours with their parent. Their parent now is going, well, this guy deserves my attention just because he's now helping me wrangle my kids. But you've won their respect just because you've now brought the experience home to where you're acknowledging not just that they're in as a customer, but they're human beings, and that you're a human being as well. And you're really connecting on a deeper level, which in turn just heightens that awareness, and they're listening to you more.
Definitely. Nowadays, sales has got to be a seamless, effortless experience. And if we can make it that, and we can take the pressure away from the client, there'll be a client for life. And that includes including everybody in the sale. It doesn't matter whether it's parents, grandparents. Everyone is there to make a decision. There's a reason why everyone's there. Everyone wants to feel valued. And if we give them that value, and that they feel, like you say, as people, as human beings, we feel better about it, and ultimately we sell more. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, not being funny with you, my 4-year-old today told me he wants a house with a view when we buy a house. So I didn't think anything of it, and we kept driving, and so he was with me while I was doing Amazon. So it was like he's in the back, and he's he brings the packages to the door. I take a picture and verify that. Yeah, it's nice. But we drove by this other house, and it was like really nice house, and I'm like, oh, that's a nice house, isn't it? And he goes, yeah, but it doesn't have a view. And I was like, Jesus,
good for him.
You're hooked on this view.
Yeah,
so
love that.
yeah,
but great that's working as well at 4. It's good effort.
Yeah, right. He just enjoys being out with Dad, I think. But it's but what I'm getting at with that is that even 4-year-olds have something to say. Even they're going to have an opinion about something, even if you don't want their opinion. And it's a case of when they walk into, for example, PC World or Dixon's or Curry's or Tesco or wherever you are, and someone in there is trying to sell a TV or whatever, little Tyke might turn around and be like, I want a 85-inch TV, not knowing what it is. And it's bring that in. Like, don't just ignore the comment. It's like being a stand-up comedian and ignoring a heckler. It's you kill the experience if you do not address everything that's happening.
Yeah, I agree. So just to clarify, I do go into more high ticket rather than like sofas, carpets, beds, furniture.
Right.
But it's the same difference. Yeah, just being inclusive.
100%. So the businesses that you're targeting, especially over here, what are the biggest struggles that you find them having when you're dealing with them? Because I know perception for me is, hiring or training or whatever, because it seems like it's the narrative lately of training or whatnot. But what are you hearing from your customers and clients that their biggest struggles are right now?
Waiting for the up footfall.
Yeah.
That is the biggest problem. Yeah, getting customers to walk through the door, and yeah, once people are in, they've got a fighting chance. Yeah, we can tailor the sales training and the approach to increase the closing rate, and to strengthen relationships and to make that experience better. But the most important thing is to get people through the doors. Once we've done that, we're halfway there.
Yeah. You
And
can't sell to
stock
nobody.
issues as well. Obviously, since COVID, a lot of stock issues, especially imported goods. That has calmed down a little bit now. It hasn't with cars. Cars is still a long waiting time, especially with EV. I mean, I was talking to one salesperson. He was saying it's like a 2 year wait for an EV, like 2 3 years.
Yeah.
It's
Nuts. Yeah, you do. I mean, buying used cars now is you're you're like, how much for what year? What? No, we're not
yeah,
doing that today.
yeah,
Like it's insane. I couldn't believe I w- so I left Ireland to come back after COVID, and I was expecting, yeah, we'll buy a car. It won't be that bad. You know, you come back and you're like, Jesus, how much? Madness. But it's supply and demand. You can't get them, so
that's
it's
it.
like. But again, it's still a buyer's market. So you have this mentality now where we have to address customers. We have to really feed the animals that seem to be coming into our zoos every day, because at the end of the day, they're what pay the bills. They are the ones that matter the most. We have to give them an experience that is memorable. And I think, I mean, attitudes of customers have definitely changed. They know that they are important to you, so they're going to have a little bit more of an attitude when it comes to certain things. Especially in the US, I can vouch for that. You know, the entitlement that it was there has been 100% magnified since COVID, because
Okay.
they know that, hey, if I don't get it here, I can get it online. And I mean, it's convenient for me. Right now, you're selling me on convenience because I walk in and I grab it right away. If I buy it online, I have to wait a week or 4 days or however many days it is.
Yeah.
So give me a reason not to wait 3 or 4 days, is basically what the sales pitch is as soon as they walk in the door. So speaking with business owners and people who are in management locally here, I think the biggest thing is making sure that you captured that sale from the beginning of them walking in the store.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you're dealing with bigger ticket items, but it's the same thing. It's, you know, you have to, you capture their attention, you
Yeah.
make them feel wanted and needed. Otherwise, I mean, they spin on their heel and they go and find somewhere else to shop. And it's that simple.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But I do feel that's how it should be anyway. Yeah,
Yeah,
when I
no, I
walk
agree.
into a store, spending my hard-earned money, I want to feel valued. I don't want a flippant advisor or someone who might have a bit of an attitude. I
Mm.
want to be served when I walk through that door, and I treat people how you want to be treated. And yeah, I mean, I asked some of our sales consultants, would you want to be served by you? If the answer is yes, great. But be honest with yourself and be accountable. Yeah, would you want to be served by you in that moment when you said that thing in the heat of the moment or with that comment? If the answer is no, be adult enough to change it and adapt for next time. And as long as we're always growing as people and as salespeople, it's we'll get it. Just really, really niche down on the skills.
Yeah, I mean, that is an amazing question, and I might steal that, because
Yeah,
that that honestly is, you know, it's self-reflection, really. It's like, look in the mirror and tell me that you would deal with you, because if not, then that's where the problem is right there.
Change.
You know, so one thing that you mentioned before we signed on the dotted line, before we agreed to do this, yeah, right. One thing you mentioned was you're an author, you're a best-selling author at that. Tell me a little bit about that. What is it that you've written, and what can people go look for?
Yeah, nice. So it's my book's called From Fear to Mindful: How to Courageously Transform Your Sales. Is that it? Have I got it?
Yeah. You got it. It's the green screen is just catching you from
Oh,
fear
yeah.
to mindful.
It's
Yeah,
the sweet spot.
I love it.
How to courageously transform your sales into lifelong relationships. And I've just poured everything into it. It starts as a day in the life of a salesperson, actually starting the night before. So making sure everything's ready, your clothes are ready, you're waking up, ready to go. Sales skills, walking through the door. There's about 5 or 6 referral strategies in there that you can implement straight away. For $10, it has literally got everything that you need to either double your sales or add $1 million in sales in 2 years or less. So, yeah, it's
That's a good that's a good return on investment, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Literally everything is in there. I haven't left anything out.
So, just for people who are watching this, From Fear to Mindful is on the screen right here. Sam King. For those who couldn't see the cover of the book because of technology just fighting us right now with green screens, because we all want to pretend we're in a luxurious house or in a studio that doesn't exist. I just want to tell you, it's all fake. It's not real.
I can't actually play that piano. I'm learning. I'm learning. One day I will be able to play it.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. But one of the things that I always like to mention is, things that you've accomplished, especially for my guests, because it's important that we acknowledge the awesome things that you've done. And From Fear to Mindful, unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to read the book, but it sounds amazing. And it sounds like something that someone should pick up if they're wanting to learn. I mean, let's face facts. The perspectives are going to be changed all the time. When two heads are better than one, all that kind of stuff. It's important to have different perspectives when you're dealing with an issue, especially when it comes to sales, because there's so many different ways to accomplish a goal. And like you said, some trainings will say, you get 4 no's or whatever. What was it? 80% no and 20% say yes or something stupid. Yeah. It's like, that's no fun. I don't want to be part of that world. And so
we got to find something that resonates with you. So,
right.
I mean, if you can find, let's say the book, if you can find 3 or 4 skills in there that make the difference, and you're closing more and having a happier customer and client base, it's worth it. I mean, Tiger Woods had 4 coaches at the same time. He paid it like $1 million for one coach, and all he did was get him to change his foot a quarter inch, and that changed his entire drive. It made all the difference. So it's just picking up on these little skills and working on it.
Yeah, because you're 100% right. There are so many different perspectives and different things that people can do for you. No one person is right or wrong, to be quite honest with you, because what's successful for one person may not be successful for another. So that's why Sam King is here to offer his perspectives and give his ideas and have his team work with your company or whatever that may be. Because let's face it, wherever you are in the world, there's going to be different things that work for the area that you're in. It's that simple. Some people are really gearing towards YouTube marketing. Other people are really going for referrals and being a community. And to be honest, I kind of like the community side of it, just because you're really connecting with the individuals that are around you, because in this world that we're in right now, connecting with the people that are around you is what's going to kind of build us up again and give us the strength to get through whatever else may be coming our way,
100%,
good
yeah.
or bad.
Definitely.
But there's no reason why you can't use all those tools, and there's no reason why Sam can't be one of the tools that you're using, or one of the companies that you're using to achieve those goals. Which leads me to my next thing. How do people contact you? Is there a website or anything like that?
Yeah, so my website's www.fromfeartomindful.com.
Cool.
You can email me at sam@fromfeartomindful.com. And what I'll do, if it's okay with you, Phil, I've got a gift which has got 13 tools to help you double your sales with half the stress. And I'll leave the link in the comments. And there's 13 sales tips and strategies where if you implement them, you will double your sales. So just download it, have a read, implement it, and let me know when it works.
Great. Honestly, that's amazing. Just because, we're all kind of, we're all in the same boat when it comes to what we're doing, as far as whether it's sales or customer service or whatever you want to call it. The reality is that, you giving little tips and stuff just shows the reality of the situation for you, is that you are trying to give back. You are actually wanting success for everyone, because it means, their success is your success. You're invested in what you're doing. So, that's really, really cool. So from feartomindful.com, again, I just love that title, man. It's a really, really cool title, because fear to mindful is essentially what we're talking about. You're going from being afraid to tackle the issues that you might be having in your business, to being mindful of what's going on around you and what's going on in your business. So I love that title. That's really cool. How did you come up with that? Just give me was it you're just sitting there going,
No way. No. So I started my business, and it was actually called SPK Performance. And then I worked with David Breyer, who's, he is the best branding expert in the world. And
cool.
Yeah, I went on his masterclass and learned a lot. And this is what we came up with. And yeah, I'm happy with it. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, no, I love it, dude. That's awesome. It's just really thought provoking, and I think it really just nails home what you're trying to accomplish with people. So
Love it.
that's awesome.
Cheers, Bill.
So what's next for you? Because you've got all this going on. I mean, from Fear to Mindful has probably taken up a lot of your time. You've got a team of people that are working with you to save the commerce world of the United States and beyond. So what really is next? Is there another book? Are we looking at different avenues to go down? What are we talking about?
There will be another book at some point. I said after I wrote that one, I wouldn't write another one. And then within a couple of 3 weeks, I thought I'm definitely writing another one. So that will come. But by the end of 2024, I want to have helped 50 high ticket retail stores add an extra $1 million in sales to their sales by the end of 2024. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's the mission.
I mean, you should set up a tracker or something for that, man. Now that you've put it out there, it's like, all right, how many has he helped? All right, we almost there. One of my favorite, I suppose, speakers or successful entrepreneurs is Grant Cardone. And man, I just finished watching Undercover Billionaire over here on CNBC, and oh my God, the guy's a beast. He really is. Like, there's no two ways about it. But what I got from that is that because there was more than one. Like this, it followed three different billionaires. But what I got from it was kind of reassurance that it is possible. Like, okay, yes, the skill set has to be there, but with the right tools, I mean, it could be argued that it was a little setup in a way, but if you're watching, do give the show a watch if you're interested, because they're put in a city they've never been to. They're given $500, a cell phone, and a POS truck that just to drive around in. And with that, they figure out how to make a $1 million business within 90 days. His goal was to go more than 1 million. He went 5 million, I think it was. But essentially, he's talking about the same thing you were. He was doing sales funnels. He was like just really leveraging communication and relationships. And he was super successful.
Yeah. He had the drive. He wanted to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was no way. Well, he had a couple of reasons why he didn't want to fail, because his whole business was 10x. Like his brand is like 10x your business, which is basically what you're saying you want to do for your clients. Essentially, I mean, essentially it's the same idea. And so if he failed at doing this on the show,
right, okay,
he would, but it would have put an end to his whole thing. So, and then COVID hit for him in the middle of the show. It was very, very interesting. But what I got out of it was, again, it's just, like you said, the drive with the right tools, the right perspective, the right communication, how you approach people, everything. It was really inspiring in a way, because, okay, yes, again, we can maybe argue that it was a little bit set up because it was a TV show and stuff, but for the most...
He'd have still done it. He'd have still done it. It's
100%. But I think reality, a lot of people have come out and said some of the things surrounding the show, and I mean, most of it was 100% on. Like there was no help. He didn't call any of his contacts or any of that. Like it was bang on, and he's still all that stuff he's done has grown even more since then. So it's incredible. Like, I mean, sales in itself, I mean, it's not one of my favorite things, but it's something I'm good at, if that makes sense. It's more like communication.
Nice guy. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, like yourself, you just, in this day and age, a lot of people don't know what communication is supposed to look like when it comes to your product or any of that. And being real with people and authentic is how we're going to win business back. And from fear to mindful is a stepping stone towards that goal, I guess. Because, I mean, legitimately, that's what our end game is being mindful of the customers, the potential customers that are walking through our doors. Because if we're not, you have to be fearful that the doors are even going to be open. So that's a big deal. So Sam, before we go, do you have any tips for somebody right now? Obviously you're giving a freebie, so I don't want to say too much, but do you have any pointers for someone who might be in a position where they're struggling right now? My tip of the day is obviously go to feartomindful.com and reach out to Sam King, because if you're struggling, this is the man to talk to. But when it comes to like just tips and stuff like that, like one quick win that might be on that list that you're talking about that would really help them move forward.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't on the list. This is more general, but this is probably means more than anything. Just don't give up. Keep going and keep moving forward and learn from mistakes. And just don't give up and keep going. That is it. That's what the most successful people have done. It's not because they've had the luckiest breaks or they've done whatever. They've kept going when they've had bad times and they haven't gave up. So don't give up.
Awesome. So completely unrelated, are you a soccer man?
Not so much. Yeah, not so much. I used to watch it when I was really young. But...
Oh, dude, I'm a Man U fan, and it's hard to wake up every morning now. It's being a Man U supporter doesn't make as much. Let's just say it doesn't make as much sense as it used to. So
yeah, Fergie knew what he was doing. He got out at the right time.
Yes, he did. We probably should all follow them. But anyway. Sam King has been my guest this fine evening and morning, wherever he is. It's been another Unscripted Perspective. I want to thank you, Sam. You've been amazing. You're, as we said before the show, you're an awesome dude. You're really nice. You're really just trying to help businesses all over the world. But from feartomindful.com and the book that you've written, From Fear to Mindful by Sam King, is that available on Amazon by any chance?
Yeah, 7 times bestseller on Amazon. So yeah, it's going well.
Cool. That's awesome. So let's make sure we go out and check the book out for starters. It's on Amazon. And look, as I said, another Unscripted Perspective with me, your host, Phil. We'll be back again with another awesome guest very soon. But until then, go with grace, and we'll talk soon. If I can get this thing to work. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh. Well, that almost completely crapped out on me, so we'll try that again. Thank you again for watching. Oh my goodness, technology.
Thank you so much for listening, and be sure to leave us a rating or review on your favorite listening platform.
Be sure to keep in touch with us on Facebook and Instagram at
The Unscripted Perspective.
Or you can visit us at
www.theunscriptedperspective.com.